Breaking news out of South Haven tonight. One person is in the hospital following a shooting on Burton Lane. Police said a victim was taken to Regional 1 Hospital in Memphis, but did not give their condition. Investigators say a person of interest has been detained and is now being questioned.
I have suffered a lot of death of people I love and friends. But this one, rest in heaven, Reggie Carroll. I love you, man. This one really is heavy.
A man with close ties to comedian Katt Williams is now locked up after being hit with serious charges in connection to the shocking shooting of veteran comedian and actor Reggie Carroll. The news sent shockwaves across the comedy world because this isn't just some random incident. Reggie Carroll was no stranger to Katt Williams. In fact, Carroll was part of Katt's very own comedy tour years back, which makes this case look way more tangled than anyone expected. The connection between the accused and Katt has only added more fuel to the fire, making fans question just how deep these ties really go. According to breaking reports, the deadly incident unfolded on the night of August 20th, 2025 in South Haven, Mississippi. And here's the twist. It didn't happen on just any random street corner or shady alleyway. No, this went down at a business called Onyx Owl, a spot that's being described as the official merchandise distributor for Katt Williams himself. That detail alone raised eyebrows all over social media, because when you hear that a shooting happened at a business tied to a celebrity's brand, the story instantly becomes way bigger. Suddenly, people aren't just talking about the crime. They're talking about Katt, his business ties, and what this means for his reputation. Eyewitnesses described a chaotic scene that night with reports of loud arguments breaking out before the gunfire erupted. By the time South Haven police officers arrived on Burton Lane, they found Carroll suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. The area was immediately blocked off with flashing lights and crime scene tape, leaving the neighborhood rattled and the community in shock. Residents said they'd never seen so many officers in one place, and the sight of detectives swarming a building tied to Katt Williams only deepened the mystery. The South Haven Police Department has been drip-feeding updates to the public, but their words haven't cleared much up. In fact, the last statement they put out left more questions than answers. It read, "Due to this being an active investigation, there is limited information to be released. We can inform that on Wednesday, August 20th, 2025, South Haven Police Department responded to the area of Burton Lane in regard to a shooting. South Haven officers located one male victim suffering from gunshot wounds. And that's it. That's all they were willing to say. No names, no motive, no details about what led to the violence. Just confirmation that a man had been shot and that Carroll was the victim. For fans and the public, that silence has only made the speculation run wild. Was this a targeted hit? Was it a business dispute? Or was it something more personal linked to the entertainment world? Everyone has a theory, but nobody has answers. The fact that the suspect is allegedly connected to Katt Williams has put even more attention on the case. Katt, who has built his career off his sharp tongue and unapologetic brand of comedy, now finds himself caught in a whirlwind of gossip and controversy once again, even if he hasn't personally been accused of wrongdoing. Social media is buzzing with people asking whether Katt knew the suspect personally, how close they really were, and whether this tragedy could come back to haunt him publicly. Some users are even questioning Katt's business dealings, with posts saying things like, "Why is Katt's merch distributor in the middle of a crime scene?" And "This whole story doesn't sit right at all." Meanwhile, Reggie Carroll's name has been trending everywhere. For many in the comedy community, Carroll wasn't just another comedian trying to make it. He was respected, a veteran of the stage, and someone who had put in years of work to build his reputation. His connection to Katt Williams through past tours gave him credibility, and his untimely death has left fellow performers and fans mourning while also demanding justice. The fact that he lost his life in such a shocking and violent way has made this story even harder to digest. The streets are buzzing, the media is circling, and the details remain painfully cloudy. All anyone knows for certain is that a beloved comedian's life was cut short, a man tied to Katt Williams is now behind bars, and the Onyx Owl business is under a microscope it never asked for. And until the police decide to share more, fans and critics alike are going to keep speculating non-stop. The whole case feels like it's only just beginning, and everyone is waiting to see what's revealed next. Despite officers and medical personnel rushing in and doing everything they could, their life-saving efforts weren't enough. The victim ultimately succumbed to his injuries. Authorities later confirmed the man to be 52-year-old Reggie Carroll of Maryland, a respected comedian and actor whose sudden and violent death left the entertainment community reeling. What was supposed to be another summer night in South Haven turned into a nightmare, one that claimed the life of a performer who had already given decades of laughter to audiences across the country. Police didn't waste time confirming that one male suspect was already in custody, and that man has now been charged with the murder of Reggie Carroll. The department issued a brief but heavy statement. Our thoughts are with the family of Mr. Carroll. Thank you to the community for their patience and understanding. But behind those words of condolence, the arrest has raised even more questions. And those questions have quickly turned into a storm of speculation. The man charged, Katt Williams. And this is where the story takes another shocking twist. According to Fox 13 Memphis, Katt's name didn't just appear in the police report. It also showed up on an eviction notice addressed directly to Onyx Owl, the same business already being linked to Katt Williams. The letter, obtained by reporters, specifically stated, "You are being given this notice due to the criminal activity that occurred on or about the premise in violation of your lease agreement, specifically on August 20th, 2025. It didn't stop there. The document laid it out in black and white. The following criminal activity occurred. The letter then explicitly cited the shooting, pointing out that an arrest had been made by South Haven police officers. In other words, the landlord was making it clear this wasn't just bad press. This was a lease-breaking level of criminal activity that could get the entire business tossed out. The fact that Onyx Owl, already tied to Katt Williams' brand, was named in this way has set the internet ablaze with gossip and theories. Ever since the shooting, rumors have been flying in every direction. People are asking what really went down inside or around that property. How did a respected comedian end up shot dead at a place connected to one of the biggest names in comedy? And why was Katt Williams, a man now facing murder charges, even in the mix to begin with? Some voices online are insisting that Katt wasn't just some random associate. Allegedly, he was even Katt Williams' bodyguard, and others went further, boldly claiming he might be Katt's cousin. Whether true or not, these whispers have only made the story grow darker, adding layers of family drama and loyalty questions to an already tragic case. And as if that wasn't enough, other rumors pushed the boundaries even further, some alleging that the shooting didn't happen at Onyx Owl at all, but rather at Katt Williams' own residence. While officials have not confirmed any of these wild claims, just the suggestion of Katt's personal property being a crime scene has people debating endlessly online. Some fans defend him, saying Katt has nothing to do with the actions of others, while critics are pointing fingers, questioning how incidents like this always seem to circle back to his orbit. At this point, the facts are chilling but limited. Carroll is gone, Williams is facing a murder charge, and Onyx Owl is now under the harsh spotlight of both investigators and landlords. Everything else, the rumors, the bodyguard claims, the talk of Katt's home being involved, is swirling in the chaotic space where tragedy meets celebrity, and everyone is desperate to know what's true and what's just noise. According to TMZ, the rumors that had been spreading like wildfire were quickly shot down. Despite all the chatter online, officials confirmed that Katt Williams and Katt Williams are not related, no cousin connection, no family ties, and on top of that, Katt himself was not even present during the shooting. Still, the damage had already been done. Once whispers hit the internet, it's almost impossible to reel them back in, and this case was already drowning in speculation before the facts could catch up. Reggie Carroll's tragic death has sparked an outpouring of emotion, and more importantly, demands for answers. Fans, friends, and fellow comedians are all looking toward one man, Katt Williams, to release a statement and break the silence. Many believe Katt owes the comedy world some words, not just because his name has been dragged into the story, but because Carroll was once part of his tour. The calls for transparency are growing louder by the day. One voice leading that charge has been comedian Billy Eiles, who jumped onto his social media account and didn't hold back. He directly called for everyone even remotely connected to the situation to speak up, including Monique, Reg Grant, and other comedians who once shared the stage with Carroll. While Billy didn't outright accuse Katt, his words zeroed in on him indirectly, making it clear that in his eyes, silence isn't an option. The post quickly made waves, being shared and reshared across platforms, fueling the already boiling conversation. But it's not just big-name comedians speaking out. Reggie's own friends are venting their heartbreak and frustration online too. On Facebook, comedian Henry Jones shared a throwback photo of him and Reggie Carroll together, accompanied by a caption that cut deep. Had to repost this after finding out accurate info on my bro Reggie Carroll passing, and ish is effed up. This city needs answers quick, and until we get them, it's a Nori zone in Baltimore for Reg Grant and Katt Williams. Yeah, I got that kind of power, boy. That statement alone stirred up a storm. The bold declaration that Baltimore would be a no-go zone for Katt Williams and Reg Grant until answers are given added even more tension to an already fragile situation. Suddenly, it wasn't just about mourning Reggie. It became a rallying cry for accountability, with comedians and communities demanding the truth. For Reg Grant, the accusations and online pressure were too loud to ignore. Despite whispers tying his name to the chaos, Grant finally broke his silence on Monday morning. Instead of addressing rumors head-on, he took a softer route, choosing to remember Carroll on his show. His words were emotional, heartfelt, and aimed at honoring the man he once toured with. Still, critics argue that remembering Carroll isn't enough, that people want clarity, they want explanations, and they want to know exactly how this tragedy unfolded. The ripple effects of Carroll's death are undeniable. One moment it's a personal tragedy for his family and friends. The next, it's a full-blown storm sweeping across social media, with fans, comedians, and entire cities weighing in. Katt Williams may not have been there, and Tronell Williams may not be related, but the court of public opinion doesn't run on facts. It runs on perception, and right now, that perception has everyone talking nonstop. On his morning show, Reg Grant took time to honor the late comedian in a way only a fellow entertainer could. He went on air with a heavy heart, dedicating an entire segment to Reggie Carroll's memory. Grant even announced on his Instagram page ahead of the broadcast, making it clear that this wasn't just another episode, it was a tribute. His post read, "This morning, 10 a.m. at Reg Grant in the morning, we honor your life and legacy and dedicate the show to you. King comedian Reggie Carroll, rest in the portal. As you would say, brother, you are missed now." Those words carried weight, as Grant tried to balance the pain of loss with the responsibility of addressing his audience during such a sensitive moment. But Reg Grant wasn't alone in remembering Carroll. Fellow tourmates and longtime friends stepped forward as well. Monique, the Academy Award-winning actress and comedian, used her own platform to acknowledge Carroll's passing, paying respect to a man who had once shared the grind of the comedy circuit with her. Zoomin Miller, another comedian who had toured alongside Carroll, also took to social media to share condolences. Their posts were brief but powerful, reminding fans that behind all the headlines, Carroll was a real person with a community of peers who valued him. Meanwhile, Carroll's family and close friends are seeking something more than just tributes. They're seeking answers. As grief mixes with confusion, those closest to him are desperately trying to figure out what really went down that night in South Haven. They want clarity on the moments leading up to the shooting. They want accountability, and they want someone, anyone, to step up and shed light on what happened. In fact, there even appears to be a press release circulating online, one that specifically urges Katt Williams himself to break his silence. The document reportedly calls on Katt to speak out publicly, provide any information he might have, and clear up the growing cloud of speculation tying his name to the incident. Whether official or grassroots, the release highlights the mounting pressure on Katt as both a celebrity and a former colleague of Carroll. People aren't just asking anymore, they're demanding he respond. At the time of his death, Carroll was 52 years old and already carried a resume many comedians only dream of. A Baltimore native, he had made a name for himself in the comedy scene, with noteworthy accomplishments spanning decades. His credits went as far back as the year 2000 when he appeared in the sitcom The Parkers, a series that launched the careers of several Black entertainers and remains beloved to this day. Carroll's presence in comedy clubs and on tours cemented him as a respected figure, a comedian's comedian, someone who had paid his dues and earned his stripes. And yet, despite the tributes, the love from his peers, and the recognition of his accomplishments, there's still a deafening silence where people want answers the most. Katt Williams, the man whose name has been dragged into the conversation from the very beginning, has yet to publicly respond to claims about his alleged connection to the tragedy. No statement, no clarification, no denial, just silence. That silence is fueling speculation. Fans are questioning whether Katt is simply staying out of respect for the investigation or whether he's avoiding the controversy altogether. Either way, his lack of response has only kept his name locked in the headlines, as every day that passes without a statement adds another layer of mystery to this already chaotic situation.